Hello and welcome to the second episode of Fire Walk with Us, a Twin Peaks podcast. I'm Paul.
I thought it was Fire Walk with Me.
Oh my god, Justin, you botched already. That's the name. That's the name of the actual movie, you shithead.
Okay, I'm Justin.
And Dave.
Alrighty, so we're talking about the episode Traces to Nowhere. In this episode, Cooper takes breakfast at the Great Northern Hotel, enjoying a damn fine cup of coffee, not coffee. As Audrey Horne introduces herself and begins flirting with him, he makes his way to the sheriff's department, where he and Sheriff Truman discuss the day's plans. They interview Dr. Hayward, who has conducted an autopsy on Laura Palmer's body. Shelley Johnson is about to leave for work when her abusive husband, Leo, demands that she do more laundry. She finds a blood-stained shirt among Leo's clothes and hides it before he notices.
His favorite blue shirt.
Yes. Later, he realizes it's gone missing. When she returns home that night, he questions her about it and then beats her with a bar of soap in a sock.
Yeah.
Cooper interviews Hurley about the video of Laura and Donna Hayward. Donna had denied him from knowing anything about who had taken the video and all of that the day before. Ed comes to the sheriff's department to pick up James. Ed tells Truman that he was drugged the night previous at the Roadhouse, the town bar. He suspects bartender Jacques Renault. Oh yes, Cooper takes a telephone call from his colleague Albert Rosenfield, who is on his way to aid in the investigation. Meanwhile, Briggs and his friend Mike are in a jail cell discussing the money they owe Leo. The $10,000 they were meant to pay him is in a safe deposit box owned by Laura Palmer, which they no longer obviously have access to. They're later released by Cooper, who warns them not to bother James Hurley. Josie Packard and Pete Martell discuss the Packard's trouble with her sister-in-law, Catherine Martell. Truman and Cooper arrive to speak with her. She had employed Laura Palmer as an English tutor. Catherine tells Josie that shutting the sawmill down cost them $87,000. We find out that Catherine is having an affair with Benjamin Horne, with whom she is conspiring the hostile takeover of the mill. That same day, Hayward visits Donna Hayward visits Sarah Palmer, attempting to console her. However, Sarah has a vision of Laura's face on her body and of a sinister man crouching in the corner of the room. She then starts to scream. Meanwhile, Lawrence Jacoby, Laura's psychiatrist, listens to an audio tape she'd made for him and sobs as he toys with the golden half of the heart necklace, the other half which was found at the scene of the crime.
Indeed. And who is this weird, creepy old man? The guy he was in the first episode, wasn't he? Who basically tried to talk to them when they were about to go to the morgue?
No.
Is it the same guy?
I don't think we've seen him up until
We have
now.
not seen the gray-haired man.
Oh,
I refer to him as the Stair Man.
I thought they would have introduced most of the main characters in the first episode. I don't know. I thought it was the same guy.
They do introduce most of them. However, there are some that they haven't.
It's like I want to suspect anyone from the first episode, but I mean...
Yeah, so obviously because there's a lot of characters in the show, they don't introduce everybody right away.
Yeah.
They kind of have to take their time bringing casting.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
Although, chances are it probably was somebody in the first episode.
Okay.
So, what did you learn about the murder of Laura Palmer in this episode?
A thing or two, and also absolutely nothing.
Okay, what did you learn?
There were a couple additional people.
Okay.
Some people are mildly crazy, and some people have been taken off the list and added onto the list now.
Yeah, there's more than one person with the letter J in their name.
There is. Now, I have to ask you, they spend part of this episode really setting Leo up as a suspect.
Oh yeah, they're really trying to suspect Leo in this one,
Yes.
for sure. Especially with the bloodstained shirt and, his attitude towards it when he basically goes and beats Shelley up.
Yeah, so there's something I don't know if you noticed. When he attacked Shelley, did you notice what was behind her?
Yes, plastic.
Just like Laura was wrapped up in.
Yeah. Good job.
Anyway, so basically I think my question remains, what did you learn about the murder this week?
Well, I don't know about the murder, but there's this... The end of the episode was just really weird. how he has like an audio tape of Laura Palmer and has the other half of the heart necklace.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
So that basically is telling us that he's the one who pulled it out of the dirt after James left it.
Yeah.
So that is obviously meant to make us suspect Jacoby as well.
Okay. That's his name?
Yes, Dr. Lawrence Jacoby.
Wah.
Okay.
So at the beginning of the episode, I wrote a quick little note that says Cooper does his best Batman impression.
Hey, he's
Or
just hanging around.
He's hanging from the ceiling with these weird, like...
Oh, that. Right. I have no idea why he's doing that.
I don't either.
He's just hanging around upside down.
Yeah, while he's talking to Diane on his tape recorder.
And then he goes out for coffee, and Audrey, for whatever reason, comes up to him.
Damn fine coffee.
Yeah, damn fine. But I don't know why, but I never saw any... I don't know. I can't see the chemistry between Audrey and Cooper at all.
I don't think anyone can see anything right about Audrey.
Well, no.
Okay,
but,
so the Audrey Cooper thing to me is really creepy because she's meant to be like 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And he's like 35.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a teeny bit.
So we get a reference to a character who's going to become important next episode. We get the first mention of Albert.
Yeah.
Albert.
Yes. Cooper takes a phone call from Albert, who will become important next week.
Yes.
We also get a possible clue of the blood-soaked shirt that Leo owns, and we see the gray-haired man in the Palmer's home.
I refer to him as Stairman.
Is it the guy who was just kind of just staring at...
Yeah, he had like the long gray...
Yeah. Okay. And she just starts screaming her brains out?
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Also, the log lady says that her log saw something.
And then Cooper didn't decide to actually ask the log at that time because he probably thought it was too stupid to do so.
And then, of course, the log lady gave her typical response of, "No one believes me."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes. It's like, you should trust her, maybe. I don't know. Log might actually have known something.
Yep, the log did see something.
Yeah.
So...
Was this before or after the fish in the percolator? They're seeing Josie.
Oh, no, that's when they go to interview Josie. So they have one of arguably the best lines in the series thus far.
There was a
Fish in the percolator.
Don't drink that coffee.
Also, Nadine keeps going on her thing about the silent drape runners. We get more of that this episode.
Yes.
God.
That's going to continue on for a while.
The drapes.
Yeah, them drapes.
The drape runners. We also get a mention of the Bookhouse Boys. James mentions he needs protection from the Bookhouse Boys.
Bookhouse.
Yeah, he mentions that when he gets released from jail.
Huh.
So that's something you might want to keep in...
I didn't really keep tabs on that.
Okay. We also find out some important things about Laura's murder. We found out that she died sometime between midnight and 4 a.m. She had bite marks on her tongue and I think also on her neck, and she was tied up at some point.
So, she was killed by a vampire.
Yes, you've got it. Damn it, Justin, you just ruined the entire series.
Alright.
Alrighty, so I think the next logical question is...
Who's the vampire?
Yes. At this point, who is your prime suspect and why? Let's start with David.
Well, as it is, the list that I had from the last episode, I took that, threw that into a fire, because we got some new people on the list. First on, for the first slot of the list, is the Stairman. Because sure, they just show him in this episode, but for some reason, in my mind, I'm like, this character's important for some reason.
Okay,
He may have just popped up for like 1 second, but it's going to be like, oh, they give all these particular things, but show this one little tiny thing of the person. It's like, you're tricking me, but I know to keep an eye on you.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you think he is real? Because I simply say that because if you'll notice, the only time he's popped up is when
she envisions it. Or
when she's having like a psychotic break, because she envisions Laura's face on Donna's body. So
True.
she's clearly not in her right mind.
True.
Is he
Yeah,
just a
she's
hallucination, or is he real?
Yeah.
In most cases, certain to that. There is the possibility of that, but if they are introducing additional characters within the rest of the story, wouldn't it make somewhat sense that it was some particular person that she may be seen, maybe have not related to it, but the fact that she's seen that person brought him up in that sort of state that she was in?
That's entirely possible. I'm just asking the obvious question that nobody else saw this guy, and she only saw it when she was in, obviously,
A
heightened
hysterical
emotional
state.
Yeah.
I would say he's probably
I don't know.
a hallucination at this point.
In my case, there's a tiny little twinge in my head saying I need to keep focused on this character for some reason. I'm not sure why.
I'm sure he'll be more important in coming episodes, maybe?
Maybe.
We'll have to see.
As it is, aside from that, Leo has decided to jump onto my list, but it's mostly just for spite in my case, because god damn it, he is abusive and not right in the head, and I just need him to suffer for particular reasons. It just, But that's side stuff for other particular things. And of course, the obvious thing on the list for me is the Doctor, where he has the evidence of that sort of stuff and has taken the position of glove man from my last list.
Okay, so your primary suspects are the gray-haired man, Leo, and Dr. Jacoby.
Yes.
Alrighty, do you have a particular reason for any of them, or...?
Mostly one for a silly answer, the other one is for spite, and the other one because they blatantly sort of explain it, and that's about as much as I can kind of go on from what I've seen.
Okay. Justin, who is your prime suspect, or suspects?
As much as I want to keep holding on to the same suspect that I had from the first episode, I may say probably isn't her. I don't know. It's kind of weird. She doesn't know what shenanigans are.
Well, she's also only been in America for a couple of years.
True. I mean, she had apparently Laura teach her English every,
I think it was once a week.
Yeah, once a week. So, I mean, that was the thing. But, who's this other... What's the other crazy chick's name? The one that was with that other guy. That,
What'd she look like?
Was she the same one that, was from the sawmill that got shut down?
Oh,
You
the
mean
one that
Catherine?
was fighting with the person that you were first discussing about?
Yeah.
I do not remember her name, but she was the one that was arguing with her about shutting down the mill.
Yeah, so
after the
Catherine.
death.
Yeah, Catherine, there's something up with her. I don't know what there is, but there's... I don't know. She seems a bit off of a character.
Okay. Alrighty.
She seems to have some ulterior motives.
She definitely does. Now, we also know that she does want to bankrupt the sawmill for some reason.
Yes.
Do you have any idea why that might be?
I don't actually know. I just know that she has ulterior motives from basically her tone and everything.
Okay. That's interesting. So tell me what you think, now that you've had a little more time to spend with Agent Dale Cooper.
Yeah, he's still a great character. I feel bad for him having drinking that fishy coffee. I wouldn't have to get fishy coffee.
Yeah, it's not
I
the
like
worst
fish,
thing.
but I wouldn't have fish in my coffee.
Yeah. As it sort of sits with me with Cooper, yeah, he's still kind of weird. He definitely
Of
seems
course.
like a decent enough guy, but the little bits of weird he decides to tinge off on kind of leaves me like, how right in the head are you?
You haven't
He's
seen
perfectly
anything yet.
right in the head.
He is definitely unique,
Yes.
let's say.
I prefer eccentric.
Already.
Okay. So, were there any other clues that really stood out to either of you from this episode?
Possibly the fish.
It
You
was
think the
pretty
fish is a clue?
fishy.
Possibly.
Okay. How would the fish be a clue?
I don't know, but it leaves me to question, how did the fish get in the percolator in the first place?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. I think I know how that
Maybe
happens.
it was planted there so that they would have disgusting coffee.
Well, yeah, I've always... And they're not going... This isn't going to come up again in the series.
That's
I'm going to
fine.
tell you right now. I've always assumed that it was Catherine who put it there. Pete's
Mm.
wife, because she hates him anyway.
Meh.
So, of course, she would do something like that.
Maybe.
Nah,
That's
I
always just
suppose.
been my assumption.
But for the most part, aside from vague moments with one another, it seems kind of immediate to just do something like that from there unless there's more background behind it, but nothing that I've seen with the two.
Okay, well they do bicker a lot and stuff. So
No, that's true, but that's kind of expected of most couples in most circumstances.
yeah, I mean that's fair. So David, Justin, what did you think of this episode of Twin Peaks?
For the most part, it's kind of still sticking to most everything I've seen from the other episode, or pilot, I guess, in this case.
Yeah.
There are a couple of weirder moments, but from what I vaguely understand of this series, it's probably just downhill from here.
We're probably not quite there yet. It's still getting to whatever's coming.
They haven't done anything really supernatural yet.
Hmm.
No, I mean, there's nothing in this episode that makes you think that there's anything out of the ordinary happening.
Not
I think at the very
terribly.
most would probably be the hysterical moment that one character
Yeah.
had.
Well, the mental breakdown. Not
Yeah.
mental, but like kind of the hallucination.
Yeah,
Ugh.
she has some kind of issue going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing like we haven't had like an angel come down or anything yet.
No, I
Yet.
suppose not. Oh, speaking of which, I still haven't found the couch.
You still haven't found the couch.
Still haven't found it.
Okay. We'll get to whatever this couch thing is eventually.
I don't even know what it is. That's the best part. I want to know what it is.
It's like, why does this couch stick out to you so much?
I don't know, but it's fantastic. So do either of you have anything left to add?
Not terribly.
David?
I suppose I should say it just for posterity's sake. There was a fish in the percolator.
There most definitely was a fish in the percolator.
Please don't brew any coffee for me that has fish in the percolator. It would probably be not good.
And it would probably be terrible, and I don't like coffee, so.
And I do drink it black like Dale Cooper. But,
Black as a moonless sky.
yes.
Alrighty, so that's going to be episode 2 of Fire Walk with Us. I'm Paul.
Justin.
And Dave.